你好，
大家好，
こんにちは。
안녕하세요.
Now you're listening to our podcast. It's
CHARABIA.
and we're freshmen at Fudan University, Mandarin and French.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Ingrid.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Eléonore. Je m'appelle Candice.
Salut, je m'appelle Rébecca.
And we're the hosts today. Je m'appelle Tania.
And je m'appelle Léonie. Bonjour tout le monde. Today, we're going to talk about the stereotypes of France, the clichés we have homes.
So what do you think about stereotypes, Léonie?
I think stereotypes are points of view towards something or someone people would associate to or immediately think of when talking about it. They could be real or not. For example, people think of love and romance when talking about friends. How about you, Tania? What do you think?
I agree your perspective, and I think the stereotype means that people set idea about what a particular type of not only person but also could be a country like.
That's right. So today we've invited our friends from France to talk about stereotypes together. Let's welcome them. Bonjour Elsa, Maria, et Julie. Bonjour. So can you guys please introduce yourself for a little?
Okay, my name is Maria Amelia. Je m'appelle Maria. I'm an international student in France, in math.
Okay, thank you. We'll be the next. Elsa?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Elsa. So I'm studying at Metz University. I'm studying Chinese and I'm 21 years old.
Thank you so much. And finally, Julie.
Bonjour, 大家好. My name is Julie. I'm studying languages and nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Welcome you all. And first of all, I want to ask a question about our French really dislike Belgians, about two countries love-hate relationship. And there's a lot of jokes and have a lot of self-mockery from both sides. Like the French always represent Belgians as stupid people with a strange accent and using obsolete words. Is that true?
Well, I think, because I live in Belgium sometime, and now I live in France, sometimes you can see that there's kind of this friend-enemy relationship with Belgian people and French people. If Belgian people, they're always saying that French are like just all cocky and I don't know, and I think it's I don't know if it's actually true, but yeah, there is always this competition between Belgium and France. But I mean, at the end of the day, everybody gets well, get along well.
Okay.
But sometimes it happens. For example, French people, they find really weird that Belgium, they say the numbers like octante, nonante, and for Belgian people, they are like, that's stupid to say 90, 70. It's kind of, so there's some kind of things, but yeah, what I've noticed, yeah.
So sometimes they will complain about each other, but they still get along very harmoniously.
Okay, and next is about languages. The second question, we've heard that French people only prefer to speak their native language, which is French, and they avoid speaking foreign language. Also, like tourists in France cannot speak English, or they will be ignored by local people. And what do you think about this?
I think it depends on people because some French students are learning French, English, Chinese, Japanese.
How about other people besides those students learning languages? Like most French people, what do you think they would do, or the reasons of they avoid speaking foreign languages? Because many tourists have said they speak English and they've got no response in France. What could be the reason?
Generally, French people prefer to speak in their own languages. I think it's because like not the young French, but the older are very bad in English and every language. I think they prefer to speak in their own languages. Like personally, when I went to Spain, for example, I recognized the French people because they were the only one who didn't talk the language, like they want to talk French everywhere. But I don't know why they don't really want to learn other languages. There are some French who love languages like us who are studying foreign languages, but yeah, there are some exceptions.
Okay, thank you.
So, do you guys feel that is Asian people's age of mystery for you? Like you don't know their real age, just see their face, such as maybe I would say, for example, it's us. If you don't know we're the first year student in college, how about guessing our age? You will guess how old we could be. Is younger or maybe older?
I think you all look very young. It happens the same with our Chinese teachers in here. I wouldn't know what age are they. I wouldn't know what age to give you all. You look all young. So yeah, I think it's really hard to tell for me.
So the age and their faces are not matches.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how old are our teachers. I guess it might be 60. I don't know, but she doesn't look. Maybe she's 70, but she doesn't look that old.
Okay.
And the next question, I believe many people have the same question because France is a country known for its food, especially desserts and also wine and cheese. But how about French people themselves? Do they really enjoy their food, their desserts, and drinking their wine? Do they really have the cheese, wine, food, delicious and gorgeous desserts on a daily basis?
I think French food is very important for French people. Like for old people, they all drink wine when they eat. I personally don't like wine, but I think the major part of French people like drinking wine. And cheese is also very important, but we don't have cheese at every meal. Like I don't eat cheese that much, but yeah, we like French desserts a lot. And yeah, I think it's very important for French people.
And so the elderly enjoy the wine very much. And how about the younger people, like your friends or your siblings? Do you think younger people also like wine that much?
My family likes wine a lot, but I think we could ask Maria because I think she likes to drink wine.
How about you, Maria?
I do, but I'm not French, so I learned it with French people actually. But I think I really like it. I really like wines, sweet wines, all from Alsace and near this region, so it's perfect. Like Gewürztraminer. That's
okay. So, have you found your friends, especially those French friends, really love wine? Do you think younger French people really enjoy wine? To learn from them, and how do you think?
I wouldn't know. I don't know. I've just met older people, and I will with the ones with my colleagues or from school, because of pandemic at the COVID and everything, we haven't actually go out a lot together. So I don't know if they like to drink or not. I know older people, I mean, they do, but I wouldn't know with my friends. I used to live in a share house. They had my age, they were a little bit younger, and they all really enjoy wine.
Okay, and is cheese really considered a kind of dessert?
Oh yeah.
So
that's true.
you eat cheese first or desserts first?
Wow. It depends of the type of meal you're going to have. As I think Elsa was talking about that the other day, that at the end of the meal, you eat cheeses with fruit or grapes. And I don't know if you eat the dessert before and after. I think after cheeses, but I think Elsa will know better.
Actually, we are going to eat cheese first, and after we have desserts. But if it's when you have a very long meal, because when I eat cheese, I don't eat dessert, and when I have dessert, I don't eat cheese because it's very like
so you
you're
choose
full.
one of them, and you don't have any.
Yeah. But when you have a big meal with all your family members, you are going to have cheese before your dessert.
Okay, thank you. That's undoubtedly an astonishment that cheese belongs to dessert. And for the next question,
It is said that French don't know much about Asia. When it comes to Asia, many French people only have the impression of China and Japan. For example, the reason why French know Japan is manga. And I want to ask you, do French really know little about Asia?
Yes, when we talk about Asia, French people generally refers to China, I think because it's the most rich country, especially Italy people, like when they talk about Asia, they will talk about China. They don't refer to Asia, they refer to China, I think generally speaking.
So what have you learned in class about Asia? Have you learned a lot of countries in Asia or only Japan or China?
Well, when you are a student, you learn a lot about geography. So personally, I learn about all the countries in Asia, but I don't know about the others.
Okay, and the next question.
I want to ask you guys that are frozen buckets hard enough to hit people?
It is about frozen buckets.
Frozen buckets of
It's
ice?
hard enough to hit people, like getting hit.
Baguettes.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Baguettes,
It's true.
It's true. No, it's not true. Baguettes are not hard enough to hit people.
They are crunchy, so that's good. Yeah.
Also, do you put your baguettes in your backpack? People say French people just hold them or put them directly into backpacks. How about you? I really do it. I thought it's really a stereotype, but wow, it seems like people really do that.
I don't know. I don't do that. I take it with my hands, but I've seen old French people do that. Put it under their arm. I've seen that. I don't know if Elsa or Julie will do that. And sometimes I do it because it's practical, but I take it with my hands. Maybe.
How about Other? How do you carry a baguette? Do you hold them with your hands or you carry under your arms?
Well, actually, I do both. If I have a lot of things in my hands, I'm going to put it under my arms, but generally I will take it with my hands.
That's really French.
Okay, it's my turn. I want to ask, are all French people Catholics? And is the religion still influential in your country, in France?
All French people are not Catholics, but the Catholic religion is historical in France, so you have a lot of churches, etc. But there are a lot of religion in France, and actually, I think the major part of French people are atheists.
Okay. And is this still influential in France?
I think it's still influence young people. I've seen a lot of young people going to church, but there are many religions, like there are Muslims, Jews, etc. But I've seen a lot of young people who took part in a religion.
Okay. Are less French getting married? Because according to a statistic from INSEE, from 2009 to 2019, there are more and more people choosing to sign the pact instead of getting married. How do you think, or do you know anything about this?
Well, I think it's true because last time in class we discussed it actually, and I think that more people are going to se paxer because it's more convenient for them. A wedding costs a lot of money and it's a lot of responsibilities. And I think that more French people are getting pax instead of wedding. Well, my teacher said last time that wedding was considered a lot more religious. So French people are getting more athée, so they are likely to be paxed instead of getting a wedding, I think.
Okay, thank you. And finally, the last question. I think this question is quite funny. We found that there's a debate about pain au chocolat and chocolatine in France. What do you think about the debate, and what might be the reasons that people argue so much over the names? Isn't it just a stamp, right?
Well, here we say pain au chocolat, and it's in the south west in France that we say chocolatine. And I think it's very, like, we fight a lot for that because patisserie is important for French. Every French people are going to say it's pain au chocolat, but very small part of France is saying chocolatine, so we fight against them for that.
It's pain au chocolat, sans doute.
So how about you? Do you get annoyed or angry if someone says chocolatine instead of pain au chocolat?
It's pain au chocolat. Stop saying chocolat. Stop saying that. Stop it. Pain au chocolat.
Do people really hit other people due to the name because someone say pain au chocolat or chocolatine? Do they really get a fight over the name?
No, we are not going to fight.
I have never seen a fight, but I don't like it. Say pain au chocolat, par pitié.
So you yourself hate chocolatine. It should be pain au chocolat.
Pain au chocolat. It's pain.
Okay, thank you. So, all right, I think it's the end of today's podcast with our French for friends. Thank you all again. Merci beaucoup, Elsa, Julie, and Maria.
I want to thank audience who is listening to our podcast now. And if you guys are expect next episode, we're maybe to produce another episode to you. And thank you all to be here today.
I hope no matter if you are from Taiwan or France, everyone has learned a little bit more about the cliché, the stereotypes of France. No matter what, I hope everyone can get to know more about France through our podcast. And merci de votre attention. Let's say au revoir in 3, 2, 1. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.